gonna move the baby. Get these shit out of the car. I know it's heavy. Oh no.
The description just said this Section 8 eviction was worse than I expected.
The baby. Get these shit out of the car. I know it's heavy. Oh no, I'm emotional, yeah I am, but I know how to control it after a little bit, you know. Throw it on there. I don't give I'm not, how am I gonna move the baby? I'm not.
I saw segment on, I forget what.
So for this clip, it looks like she's replying to a comment, and the comment reads as follows. I know people who have applied for Section 8 but couldn't find housing. So she's replying to that, apparently.
I saw segment on, I forget what news station here locally in Atlanta, where they were talking about people who actually have Section 8 vouchers but cannot find anywhere to live because landlords are not accepting Section 8 vouchers. Like, what is going on? Like, why are they not accepting Section 8 vouchers? Since when do landlords not accept Section 8 vouchers? Like, are they not getting paid? Are the tenants too much? Like, what is the rationale behind not accepting Section 8? That used to be the golden goose for landlords to get a Section 8 tenant because you knew you were going to get paid on the first. Like, why are landlords out here now? How many of y'all have heard about this? Weigh in the comments. I saw
She said that used to be a golden goose for landlords. Like it's like they're doing landlords a favor. Ma'am, landlords got options. Landlords got options. Apartment prices are going through the roof at this point. And remember, we're dealing with the government here. So the government doesn't pay competitive prices. And inflation is at an all-time high, as well as entitlement is at an all-time high as well. And people will get entitled because they haven't been paying what they're supposed to do, even though it's just a smaller portion that they have to be responsible for. And they still won't pay that, even knowing that they're getting taxpayer funds to pay the rest of it. And so then when they get evicted, they like to do malicious things like destroy properties. And then you're already not getting competitive rates as far as rent prices are concerned. But then these people do tens of thousands of dollars worth damage. And so people are starting to get a bad rap with Section 8. And I don't like people who act like they don't know what's going on. Ma'am, you know what's going on out here. The caption says she got evicted while she was asleep. Part 1.
Also the court. Also the court. Also the court. Hello? Hello? You want me to come in? I'm a process server. It's an eviction.
Right now?
Right now.
She said right now?
Okay. I gotta put on some clothes.
Okay, I'm gonna start downstairs taking pictures. Give you time to get yourself together. Then once you get up and get ready, start gathering all your personal belongings. You don't want anything because we bag up everything. We set it outside.
I gotta give me a chance to get my own stuff
No, it doesn't work that way. I wish I could, but once I'm here, the only thing we can do is execute this writ.
up. Alright.
All right.
All right, here's part 2.
Yeah, just start downstairs. What you say? You didn't know this was happening?
We just found out about the eviction Monday.
Did y'all go to court?
No, we never went to court. They told us to pay the money. They was gonna not send the.
So that's their problem. I've noticed in these situations, it's going to be one or two things. Either the first thing is that they know exactly what's going on and they're just playing dumb because the judge usually outlines everything. But if they genuinely don't know what's going on, then the only other option that it typically is that they didn't show up to court, which is ultimately they got the paperwork. Some people try to act like they didn't get it or like they didn't get served and it doesn't count. And so they just ignore it. And then what typically happens is basically because you didn't show up, you automatically lose. And so now everything was happening in the background and you weren't aware of it whatsoever. And now these people get to come to your house. And because you decided to opt out and not show up to court, now it just is what it is.
About the eviction Monday.
Did y'all go to court?
No, we never went to court. They told us to pay the money. They was gonna not send the paper. Get a call Monday. They sent the paper out now. Y'all here.
What paper you talking about?
They put a paper on the door. We called the office, talked to the lady, paid the rent. $12.20 to be exact. $3.80 for the court costs, and then the rest of the rent. She said, hey, well, we're not gonna send the paper off, just pay the rent. We paid the rent. This Monday, they called and told us that we had to leave. That's why I'm trying to figure out why you're here, and we just found out Monday. Like,
So you saying you don't owe any money?
no.
So have you had some incidents here, like fighting, or
No.
I'm not saying I'm not putting anything on you, but it's two reasons they do evictions. One is for money, other is like incidents, like trouble.
No.
So you haven't been no trouble.
I have nothing on my background. You can run my name, I can give you my social. I have nothing on my background.
So I wonder why.
They have all that money, my rent not behind or none of that.
Well, it has to be some reason they're doing it then.
What you say? What you say, then?
I mean, the obvious question is like, why weren't you at work right now? So you mean to tell me you've been paying your rent and all this good stuff, but when we show up to your house unexpected, you ain't at work. It just so happens you didn't have to be to work that day, huh? Okay. Let's see how this concludes. Let's go to part 3.
And no court notice, no shit. Like, how the fuck? Nobody go to court. Y'all just let me go to court. And then 3 days later, y'all pop up in the house. Like, what the fuck is this? Everything, huh?
Total. It's gonna look like it was when they first moved in. When they first moved in, nothing. Exactly.
They evict somebody and go to court without even going to court with the person that says. Or how do you evict somebody and you're not even behind in your rent? I'm standing here talking to the officer.
Who's that on the phone? Who is she talking to on the phone? That's what I want to know.
But no, I asked them, like, how do you? Okay.
Well, that's the end of it. I don't know why I said, let's see how it concludes. We already know how it was going to conclude. It's going to conclude the way it always concludes. He's got that court order. This is happening. And you see, I wanted to know who's on the phone because what usually happens is these people will call everybody but the landlord. And the reason that I believe that is because if you call the landlord, they're just going to look you right in your face and be like, are you serious? See, this is only between you and I. So we both know what's going on here. But see, she's trying to confuse this guy because he's not necessarily intimately familiar with the situation. And so it's just basically a common tactic deployed by tenants in order to ultimately talk their way out of the situation. People have such confidence in their way to be able to talk their way out of a situation that has been court ordered. Excuse me. And I think that's amazing.
Hearing.
Caption says, I did the best I could. Eviction court didn't go in my favor. I'm so tired, y'all.
Hey guys, so I went to court today for my eviction hearing. I was very honest. Pretty much they just told me that I had a week to come up with the money or...
Gotcha. You thought that was a chick, didn't you?
Hey you guys, so I went to court today for my eviction hearing. I was very honest. Pretty much they just told me that I had a week to come up with the money or I'm gonna be on the streets. Oh God, I'm so exhausted. I was gonna go live today, but I need to rest right now. My nerves is really bad, but I do have a GoFundMe. I will put that up later today, or if not early tomorrow. But right now, I just really want to rest my nerves. I'm very numb. I'm very exhausted. I've done all that I could do. I've done all that I can do. So, y'all just pray for me, I guess. But yeah, I love you guys.
I know he did not just do the little gesture when women be trying to like cover their blouse so you don't see their cleavage. I know he did not just try to do that move. Hold on.
I've done all that I can do.
Look at this.
So,
I know.
y'all just pray for me, I guess.
Man, ain't nobody worried about your chesticle, sir. He like trying to cover. Oh, I'm a little exposed. Trying to cover it up like he trying to cover up his blouse. Stop it. The caption, or I should say the description says, it just says someone help. Hashtag Section 8.
So CHA or Section 8 in Chicago has not paid us in 3 months, now going on 4. There are 2 Section 8 tenants in our building. They're paying for one and have been, but the other one has been there for 3 months and they continue to say, oh, our bad next month, oh, our bad next month. I am missing May, June, and July, and they're going to pay it in August. But the tenant is coming in and paying her portion of the rent. But CHA we're talking almost $3,000. It's going to be more than that by the time we get to August for the August 1st payment. Like, what can I do? Has anybody dealt with this? Like, it's Chicago. I've never, like, they're paying another tenant, but they're not paying this one's. Like, I would have been evicted a tenant if it wasn't, like, I don't even, what the heck? So.
Caption says Section 8 and lower income housing is over.
I just want to let the girlies know, whoever's on Section 8 and get low income, y'all know Trump has limited y'all time to 2 years. And y'all, I do believe the ones that truly do need it, like the elderly and the disabled, cool. But mothers that's been on there like 10 or 12 plus fucking years for no reason and they ain't did nothing with their life but studies living off Section 8, they don't deserve that at all whatsoever. They don't deserve to just keep living off Section 8. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. Like I said, Trump gave y'all 2 years exactly to get y'all shit together. 2 years. He gave y'all 2 years. And no, I'm not I ain't no Trump fan. But he not wrong. He not wrong. So I truly hope that y'all really listening and taking this shit serious, because that's what y'all voted for. He gave y'all 2 years. He said after the 2 years, your Section 8 is getting wiped. No matter if you have a backup plan or not, you are getting wiped. This bill is coming into effect now. So y'all better get ready. It's about to get real out here. I just want...
And never let nobody basically detract from the fact that 2 years is a long time, especially for an able-bodied person who really there's nothing wrong with them. They just out here making decisions. Listen, we make exceptions for exceptional people. If you have a disability that you had no control over, you know the trifecta, the trio that we always say: elderly, veteran, disabled. If you're in any of those, then we can make some exceptions. But when we're talking about able-bodied people who are making decisions and who are incentivized to make certain decisions, and then will be told that at the beginning, keep in mind, there's people who are told at the beginning, okay, you have 2 years now. And they're like, what? That's not enough time. It's like the 2 years hasn't even gone by. How are you predicting the future already? You're already predicting the future that is not going to be enough time. Which, if at the beginning you're predicting that, that lets me know that you don't want to have to move with urgency. And so, what do we do about that? In my mind, if you're complaining about 2 years right from the beginning, then you really shouldn't even be on it to begin with, because you don't even have the urgency of wanting to do better for yourself. And what we see is a lot of times people are already in bad situations, and then they're just adding on and piling on and digging the hole deeper. And so, and because they're going to be incentivized and because their benefits will be amplified. And so there's not going to be any more incentivization. There's actually going to be more standardization. And with standardization will come that drive and urgency, as well as just that drive and responsibility.
Week Friday, I got served my Section 21 eviction notice for me to leave this property.
All right, her thing says she got served a Section 21 eviction. She must be in London or something. We'll try it out. Let's see what she's talking about.
Last week Friday, I got served my Section 21 eviction notice for me to leave this property. Now, I knew this was coming because I moved in here February 2025, and then in April 2025, my landlord said that she wanted to sell the property sometime soon. I didn't know exactly when this would be, but yeah, it's now here. Kel took his first steps here. He crawled for the first time. We've made so much memories in this flat. However, when you're in the private rented sector, the landlord can literally sell the
Yeah, this is a little bit, we're getting off what we usually do. This is some UK fodder. All right, so she's replying to a comment. The comment reads, "Hi, I had public housing 8 years ago. It went as an eviction. What's my chances of getting Section 8 again?" Really? You had Section 8 8 years ago, and you were one of the few, the proud, the bold, because that's bold. How are you getting evicted off Section 8? Do you know what the minority is that you are? In already a destitute segment and group and population, you're one of the dumb ones who actually was dumb enough to actually lose their Section 8 and then come here later knowing that, ma'am, you know you don't qualify for it anymore with an eviction, but you still trying to ask like there's going to be some way just because it appears this woman is a Section 8 expert or whatever, or, a government assistance expert.
Hello, my Section 8 TikToker. To answer your question, I would need a little bit more information.
We already know that.
But
answer.
when you say you were evicted from public housing, did you owe them any monies? What were you evicted for? I would need to know I would need to know those answers. And then you would need to reach out to the housing authority in that, in your jurisdiction. But usually,
No,
I'm not even going to say usually. I'm just going to say you need to reach out to a housing authority in your jurisdiction. If you owe any back rent, if you were evicted for non-payment of rent or something like that, and you owe the housing authority some money, I would strongly advise that you satisfy whatever those fees are, so that you can move ahead. Now you know.
Ma'am, you just be honest with her. Stop getting her hopes up. See, because people already know the answer. And what you're about to do, ma'am, by getting this woman's hopes up, basically on a suicide mission that's not going to be possible, or there's not going to be any potential for it. She's just going to resent you after the fact and be like, you said I could do this if I just called a housing authority. I mean, she did the right thing. Call your housing authority, see what they can do. She basically just opted herself completely out of it. So I'm not mad at that. But you see, she was about to let her know, like, man, I don't know. But then she was just like, just call your housing authority, see what they can do. It's not happening. You got evicted on Section 8. You know, they told you when that happened that you're not going to be able to qualify for any other programs anymore. I wouldn't even be surprised if you can't even get food stamps. It says Section 8 tenants moved out.
Bedroom apartment. And this is how the tenants left it after they left.
Whoa.
What do you guys think? Anybody need some hair? So I gotta come in here and fix this thing up. And everything that's broken. Got the blinds broken. Everything's dirty. Bathroom. It's just filthy everywhere. I'll do a after.
That was intentional. That was egregious. That was intentional. You could tell they just started kind of like doing whatever they could to mess it up. They possibly might have gotten immediately evicted. And when I say immediately evicted, I'm referring to like the writ of eviction that goes through. And so it was unexpected, like that other woman we saw where they woke her up, right? But you remember that woman at the beginning? What did she ask? She asked, what's going on? Why they said on the radio that Section 8 tenants aren't renting the Section 8. I mean, Section 8 landlords aren't renting the Section 8 tenants anymore. What's going on? That used to be guaranteed money. I don't know what they're doing. Why wouldn't y'all want that? It's in your best interest. This is why. And we have a lot of examples like this of where people will be malicious and people will be spiteful, and they will basically take out their anger on that property and ultimately try to do something to set back the landlord after already setting them back, because you're getting evicted. If you're a Section 8 tenant getting evicted, there's not too many, like they said, there's not too many situations and circumstances that will facilitate you getting evicted. It's either you didn't pay your portion of the rent that you were supposed to pay, and so Section 8 terminated you, or the landlord evicted you, or you weren't operating within the rules and the guidelines of whatever was agreed upon initially. And so ultimately, both of those two scenarios come down to your own actions. And so to be spiteful after you did something that you already knew ahead of time that you were supposed to do, and you did something opposite of that you knew not to do, and then you decide you're going to take it out on the landlord, that just shows the character. And how can you wonder why you can never get ahead, why you can never get out of your situation, when this is how you do people? This is how you do people who have done nothing to you, but are just doing what they have to do based off of what you force them to have to do. And see, this is the problem, and this is what we deal with. So, y'all, we'll leave it there for the day. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually helps out more than you know. And also, if you could hype the video. Hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it helps smaller content creators like myself. And basically, when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So you just press the hype button and it shows the points. And since I am a smaller creator, a smaller channel, we actually get more points per hype. And hype was designed for smaller channels, so that's why we get more points. And that's why your hypes go further. But if you go to a video and you don't see the hype option, then it's probably been 7 days. And hype usually vanishes after 7 days. So best practices, if you wanted to hype, it's usually best practice to just go ahead and hype while the iron is hot. And then also if you want to become a member, you can press the join button right there on the video. And basically becoming a member of the DXU family, what you would get is badges next to your comments that will show people that you are a member and has that prestige, as well as you would get early access to content as well as exclusive content. So if you want to do that, definitely feel free to hit that join button. But until then, I'll catch you all in the next video.